colonization battles a long time ago.
I heard about that. He and the human captain in that Sylvari twig lit up the place.
I'm sure Ridlock carried the other two. Ever seen him fight? Brutal.
Alright, welcome back guys, it's Casey here. We are continuing with our adventures. I wanted to show off a feature that was added to the game recently, and I have to be honest, I don't recall whether I've shown this expressly in the LP or not. So, here it is. It's chair sitting. Recently, while the series has been going out... Wow, we moved really quick there. While the series has been going out, the devs did add the ability in all the cities and home instances for the players to sit in chairs. There are even a few emotes you could do, like I was waving at you a second ago. Some chairs are big that support multiple players, and you can swap positions. And yeah, it's just like a small little immersive feature. So I thought I would come back home for a moment just to show that off. As you can see, there's all different varieties of chairs. There was an achievement added to sit in all the chairs of the world. And just do a double whammy, which is to talk a little bit about our home again here. So, here's Lord Farron. He doesn't really say anything. I'm currently in my home instance. Now, we've talked a little bit about this in the series so far. Oh, I wanted to close the door with me outside. We've talked a little bit about this so far, but one thing I've mentioned but not demonstrated is that as you progress through the story, some of the various characters you meet do come to live and stay here in your home. And we just passed a great point to show that off. That was with the Quaggan. So if we come and check out the fountain back home here for Casey, you can see now there are several Quaggan villagers and even Quaggan hatchlings. Look at how cute baby Quaggan are hanging around. And these are the Quaggan of Falualu. Someone was talking over there. These are the Quaggan of Falualu, including even Shashu has arrived here. Baruch we can't see amongst them, but Shashu's here, and
welcome.
they will even greet us just a little bit. So, yeah, I wanted to show these guys off. They don't stay here forever, and indeed the plan to get them a home in Lion's Arch is not abandoned. They'll even be relevant in upcoming story, so do consider them. But at any moment, we can come back and check them out, and there's so many different opportunities to get different characters. Now, what's amazing about this is if we were a Char and we helped the Quaggan wouldn't be at this fountain. They would have made home somewhere else out in the Black Citadel. And that can affect how many Quaggan come with you, whether you see hatchlings, the state of various NPCs. It's all quite fascinating, really. So, yeah, I did want to show that off, especially since I've seen a couple of comments from you guys now who are saying, well, hold on, the current story, you know, how relevant is that going to be to what's going on in Divinity's Reach? Really, the developers' answer to that question was stuff like this. Funnily enough, back when Guild Wars 2 was first being developed, let's head to the Durmand Priory now as well while I continue talking. When the game was first being developed, they did have a system whereby, you know, all these dyes I've been using on my gear, it used to be you would find dyes out in the world, but they wouldn't be identified, and you'd have to process them by returning to your home instance. So originally, when Guild Wars 2 was being made, the idea was you'd be out doing a story, but every day, like coming back home, and then going out and you'd have a reason to come home, and you'd go out and you'd have a reason to come home. And because of this looping backwards and forwards, maybe it felt like there was more permanence. But by the time the game released, that dye system was cut. They didn't like it anymore. They did a different system. And it wasn't for a long time later that people started having daily reasons to return home again. And that was to gather various materials and things. But so yeah, there you go. There are other mini instances as the game progresses too that I want to talk to you all about. And those unlock as you progress further in the story, such as joining an order. So here we are at the Durmand Priory. And there is another such instance. We looked at it a little bit before. If you remember, we spoke to an NPC over there who let us in. Well, as a full-fledged member of the Priory, we can come over here.
Knowledge is the greatest treasure.
This Arcanist, I think you used to speak to, but it says, would you like to continue to the Durmand Priory? This wouldn't necessarily be available to people who hadn't joined this order, but we can do this. I dipped my toe in here in a previous video, but I do want to show a little bit more of it off to you guys now. And as you'll see, we do have a ton of NPCs here, and even the NPCs in locations like this update and change to reflect the current state of the story. Most players don't realize that, but I'll give you a perfect example. Here are the barracks. By the way, this is a reference to the wiki, I believe. This is Wiki's official guide to Tyria. This relatively new volume has a golden imprint on the cover that says winner of the Crichton Nobel Prize 1324. That was last year. The title of this book reads Wik's official guide to Tyria. Tyria is the northernmost continent of the world with the same name. It is the home of the former city of the gods and the tomb of the primeval kings. Tyria, the planet, not to be consumed with the continent of the same name, has been home to many sentient species such as the humans, the Asura, the dwarves, and Norn, among others. Known history puts it over 11,000 years old, when the Giganticus lupicus last roamed the world. However, the earliest known human life did not appear until 786 years before the gods' exodus. There are 3 known continents and an unknown amount of unexplored ones. Beneath Tyria runs a subterranean network of tunnels linked by Asura gates. So this is like all old lore, either written by players or by devs back around when Eye of the North came out. And it's kind of in Guild Wars 2 as a reference here. There is ambient dialogue here, by the way. Most of this is unknown to the wikis, but I'll hopefully be putting at the start and end of these videos. But yeah, we got a ton of different things we can interact with, like a Cartographers Workbench. It says here you could assemble a variety of cartography tools here, but I have no use for this right now. This is involved in like legendary weapon creation and special aspects of crafting that very few players will actually hang out and do. Here we got a ton of scholars looking over the bones of what could be a Giganticus lupicus or a fish of some variety. I think one of them does speak to us. Oh, maybe not. We have a journal back here, though. Maybe this describes it. It says, this journal contains notes about a sea beast skeleton. There are sketches of what the creature looked like when alive, including a humorous scene in which it's eating inquest agents. Is that the idea here, that this was the thing that was maybe eating inquest agents? Now, there are a ton to look at. If, for example, we come in here, it says there's currently a lecture underway in the Priory's Hall. If we open the doors and wander in, you will see a ton of guys sitting down and learning from this guy here, Decimus the Historian, whose name you might recognize. So he says here, take a seat, I'm lecturing on theories about the Seers. It's quite fascinating, if I do say so myself. Remember, the Seers were one of the ancient races. Which I would love to hear what he has to say about this is. This you might recognize as a name way back when it was announced Guild Wars 1 was ending and Guild Wars 2 was going to be the main thing. The devs released a massive lore-based article called The Movement of the Worlds, and the in-get universe character who wrote The Movement of the Worlds, yeah, it's him. And he gives lectures here at the Priory. Oh, I'm so at home here, guys. I could just sit on one of these desks at the back, fool around, but learn amazing stuff. Ah, it'd be so cool. So, yeah, there's a ton to interact with. I'm not going to do it all. There's not only the lecture chamber, but there's also this this door here is where Gix lectures from, by the way. And you can kind of sneaky look under the door, but I won't do that because there's vague spoilers back there. But look at all these books. Tons of archives and stories and references to new and old lore alike. I have done a video on this before. I don't know whether it's got spoilers for stuff later in the story, so I'm not going to directly link it, but if you are extra curious, you can search on my channel and you will find a video where I read all of this stuff out. But this was super cool. And then finally, the actual reason I wanted to come here, we got Armor Requisitioner, who says here to requisition armor. I've probably got what you need. This is the Priory stuff, which we're wearing. Here, finally, we have Kekt. Remember Kekt? We've recently met as a part of the story, but his status here in these chambers changes as the plot goes along. And so when I actually speak to him, he says, this is new to me. I never knew there was so much to organize for a military dig. I'm up to my eyebrows in complications and lists. So Kekt is organizing a military dig. If you remember last we were talking to Kekt, I believe, he offhandedly mentioned something called the Tome of the Rubicon, and I said, oh, that'll become relevant later. Well, here he's mentioning a military dig. It will be a while in the series before we get to the military dig, just to be clear, guys. But this is hinting at story upcoming, okay? So Kekt is organizing that, and one day we'll be there, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember him talking about that military dig. We also get some other guys. This guy sells weapons. We got Scholar Stin here, who says, yes. Are you the new cleric? No, I'm Casey Whitedale. Of course you are. I was hoping to get a chance on your thoughts on your latest thesis. I've been studying the Giganticus lupicus, searching for references among desert cultures. What have you discovered? Well, it's all very exciting, really, and someone to...
Much appreciated.
Oh, he's just been relieved, has he? That's cool. And somewhat distressing as well. I believe I have evidence to support the conclusion that the G-Loop was wiped out by none other than the Elder Dragons. No! Yes, well, maybe. I have more research to do. The G-Loop has been a personal fascination of mine since I returned from the Crystal Desert with bone samples. I intend to find the truth. So he's been to the Crystal Desert, which is fascinating in its own right, because it was only very recently, in 2017, that the player base got to travel to the Crystal Desert. So that's far away. I mean, I talked about the military dig being a long way away. Compared to the Crystal Desert, the military dig is nothing. The Crystal Desert is a long, long, long way off. Anyway, so I wanted to show you a little bit of the interior of the Durmand Priory. Now that we're a full-fledged member, and things are going to be cooking up. So Casey, between videos, we can imagine, has been hanging around, learning lots about Tyria, going on further adventures with Siren, begrudgingly annoyed at her for constantly getting us into trouble, and, you know, feeling like she should maybe chill out a little bit after putting so many people's lives at risk. But we'll see whether maybe she learns a lesson by the end. So let's go on through to the next bit of the plot. Alright, so here we are, level 60, and on to chapter 6. You'll notice if I press to go to the story journal here, you'll see it's called the Battle of Claw Island. And the step we're on right now is called On Red Alert. So Gix has summoned us back with some fairly distressing news. It's actually been a while. So here we get a very late mail, by the way, from Logan, quite a bit back. So if you listen here, he says, recruiting the Quaggons. I heard about your adventures in Quaggan country. Congratulations on recruiting them to our cause. They may be pacifists, but I can see now how they'd be an asset against the Elder Dragons. Don't dwell on losing the Quaggan village. Homes can be rebuilt. The important thing is that you've saved lives and secured their help. And here he says, as for me, I'm heading off to our old friend Cordicus's estate to support Jenna as she meets with the Char ambassador. This is actually like out of sync. This is another issue with the personal story right now, where it was restructured a bit back a few years ago. If you remember, Logan told us he was going to this party right when we joined the Priory, and now he's telling us this again. This is actually already done, so I'm going to choose to believe this was just a delayed mail, and yet he somehow heard about the Quaggons in the meantime. I don't know, it's a little bit messed up here. He says there's a chance Zodja may be at the party, but I don't expect a joyful Destiny's Edge reunion. In fact, I'll be lucky if she doesn't punch me in the knees. Keep up the good work though, Logan. So Logan's off doing his thing still around the time of the party is where we are at the timeline right now. So yeah, a lot has happened here between videos. I've actually once again, speaking of the dungeons, I have been doing a lot of practice for them. And I've got to say, guys, I'm getting pretty comfortable and confident with this whole permadeath idea. I don't know, we'll see soon, but a lot of practice has been done. Also, by the way, you see this outfit here? This is like a beautiful Guild Wars 1 style outfit that I might put Casey into something similar in a second because it was released fairly recently. There's Arcanists nearby, and of course as an Elementalist, now that we're level 60, we can train some new stuff, and I kind of want to train Arcane. But hey, so yeah, with Arcane in mind, I also, by the way, we learned while we were underwater the Tornado Elite, which I want to try out. All kinds of good stuff. Let's move on through. I love as we walk down here with all the NPCs like flanking the entrance. And what have we got?
The dragons are a threat to everyone, Shashu. I'm pleased your village has joined the fight against them.
Although war is strange to Quaggons, Quaggons will help the Priory in any way Quaggons can.
Okay. Hey, Shashu, it's great to see you. Another weird little mistake-ish here from the story. When you speak to Shashu, she says, "Whoo, Commander! Quaggan is very happy to see you again. Quaggan is ready to repay you for saving Quaggan's people. Have you found a new home yet?" we ask. And he says, "Cool, it is far from complete, but Quaggan settled in a nice patch outside Lion's Arch. More Quaggons are ready to join Quaggan if necessary." So they got several around Lion's Arch, several in our home instance. That's cool. We're grateful. Now, the mistake, did you spot it? The game kind of refers to us as titles, because I call myself Casey, but they don't have voice acting to use the word Casey the whole way through the game. So they use titles instead, like Initiate or Advocate or whatever. Our title right now for the Durmand Priory is, I actually can't remember, is it Initiate right now? In any case, it's not Commander. Commander is actually, minor spoilers here, a title that will be upcoming. And will be like our most distinctive, well-known name in the entire story, really. Commander will be our main name. But here, the devs accidentally slip it in a little bit early. I don't know. You guys in the comments have been enjoying the trivia when I point out these weird little things, so I'll continue to. But there you have it. Welcome aboard. Anyway, so, Gix, what's going on? We've delayed the inevitable long enough. Talk to me, man.
Good day, Explorer. Siren and I have been discussing your recent ordeal. It is tragic, simply tragic, that such destruction was inflicted. I cannot overstate it. The dragons must be stopped. The one bright spot in this whole situation is that your actions have saved many lives and gained allies for the Priory. As Steward, I'm pleased to promote you to the Priory's highest active rank, Magister.
Thank you, Steward Gix. It's a great honor.
Congratulations, fellow Magister.
Ooh!
Celebrate all you like, but I need you to run a small errand as well. An associate of mine recently developed a new equation that might pinpoint weaknesses in higher magical entities, like the dragons. Maeva has offered the Priory a copy of her research. I want you to go to Lion's Arch and pick it up.
Sounds like fun. I'll meet you at her house. It's on the beach, near the Western Ward. I'll meet you in Lion's Arch.
Oh, what did Siren say there? I must have missed it, but damn cool. So this is why I was a little bit weirded out a second ago, because I knew we were about to get upgraded to Magister. So Magister Casey Whitedale and Magister Siren, she's bolting off immediately. I don't think she had any dialogue for us anyway. Yeah, we're going to be Magisters in arms now. Gix, what's going on, man? He says Siren can be, impulsive, but she's a worthy mentor. You've helped her be a better agent, and for that I am grateful. Tell me more about Maeva. So yeah, so there's a mysterious contact who might actually have some crucial information against the Jackals. This is cool. Maeva? Well, she's an independent researcher. Maverick, really. Her ideas are mad. Brilliant, yes, but quite mad. Is there something you're not telling me? No, I mean, no. She's just, well, she's quite gifted. Extraordinarily so. Lovely mind. It sounds like he's almost a little infatuated with her, doesn't it? I'll put in a good word for you. Okay, so we got a researcher at Lion's Arch. That doesn't sound too crazy, and it might be quite cool. Oh, did she update her dialogue? No, she just says she's there to repay her. So there you go. We've saved allies. Yes, we've got some more help in the Elder Dragon battle to come. But I mean, Quag and allies. How much is that really worth? So we're gonna go back to Lion's Arch now. I guess I'll take the waypoint at the Gate Hub Plaza. Or Piazza, sorry, I always mess that up. It's the Grand Piazza, not the Grand Plaza. I always mess up reading that L for an I. But yeah, and now what we're going to do is go to a very special building in Lion's Arch that I always adore going to. Basically, what this building is, guys, is it's one of the only structures that survived the big destruction that is due to come here in Lion's Arch. So again, I hate to sound like a broken record. We go through it every time we hear it, LA. But this current version of LA is not what Lion's Arch looked like when Magister Casey and Magister Siren came back here to Lion's Arch. It looked different. It's going to get destroyed in the future in the story, and then eventually rebuilt to look like this. But there's one building that works, that stayed the same and survived all of that, and we're going to it now. It's on a beach just off on the outskirts of the very, very central areas of the city, over there at White Crane Terrace. It's actually extremely near where Tyrix was, oh no, not Tyrix, where Bract was escorting Tibble out of the city, disguised as Demi. You might recognize this little area. We walked up to what was once some docks here. Well, we're coming back here now, and you see this building, this mansion. Maeva, who lives here, is incredibly talented as a sorceress, and actually managed to keep the place surviving between the two massive events. So, what you see right now, in the, what year is it right now? 1230 something? 1231? What you see right now, we go back in time to on Red Alert, is still what you see back here. Look, it looks the same. Of course, the rest of the city has now changed. We're now back in time everywhere else. You can see across the bay the lighthouse at Lion's Gate that I was talking about quite recently. The diving area up there. The statue to Kabaya Mariner. There's going to be lots of references to Kabaya Mariners in today's story, in today's video. So, yeah, it's a real shame we can't go up there and interact with the statue. I really wanted to. I actually tested that just before recording for you all. But yeah, so remember, Kabaya, he founded Lion's Arch as we know it. He was a great captain. We're going to learn a little bit more about his capacity as a captain here. And people who have read the third novel, Sea of Sorrows, are going to be able to geek out a lot of moments in this episode. Anyway, so yeah, Maeva, what's going on? Hey, Siren. You always get here before us. How do you do that?
This is the right house, but Gix didn't say anything about weird lights and thumping noises. Do you think that's normal?
I seriously doubt it. The house's defense mechanisms have been activated.
Oh no. Maybe someone tried to break in and steal Maeva's research. We'd better head in and find Maeva. She may need our help.
Oh god, that wouldn't be ideal. Okay. So, Siren points at the thing. And yeah, we can go on in. So, let's get a new conjure for this instance. Let's get the Earth Shield. That's the next one in the list for us to learn. 5 new skills. You're about to see the last of the Ellie skills, the core Ellie skills. That will change when we get to the expansions. There'll be even more. But we've showed off so many recently. Don't worry, guys. It's almost over. So we got the Earth Shield and Tornado. I'll show you Tornado first. Let's go through the doors. Uh-oh. So it sounds an alarm. A very loud alarm. And what I'm going to do straight away, as fun as the alarm is...
Welcome to the home of Maeva, extraordinary knowledge technician. Currently, Maeva's home is on full alert lockdown due to perimeter breach. Visitors will be politely greeted and summarily destroyed. Please remain calm as the hospitality defenses vaporize you.
Combat protocols active. Restricted weaponry unlocked. Prepare for death. Have a nice die.
These golems are amazing. So I'm going to mute the alarm here because the audio balance on the alarm is really loud. And you guys, trust me, don't want to be hearing that for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And besides, they actually do some really fun, interesting stuff with the audio in this instance.
Combat protocols active. Restricted weaponry unlocked. Prepare for death. Have a nice die.
That you otherwise can't appreciate because that freaking alarm's going off. All right, so Earth Shield. We create an Earth Shield on the ground. We hold one in our hand. It looks really sweet. Look at this thing. It gives us, just from holding it, way more HP and tankiness, toughness and vitality. And here we go. So you got the autos. You bash someone with a shield. If you've ever wanted to be like a main hand shield warrior or something in this game, Elemental is a great way to do that. So basically, we shield smack, we shield bash. This guy's getting mad at us as well. And then we can even throw the shield Captain America style. I'll try and show that to you. You, like, throw it out, it boomerangs, and it applies bleeds and cripples. So that's the autos of the shields. And now it's despawned, so I have to get it back later. Let's kill this guy just with our regular scepter stuff. Generally, the shield is actually one of my favorite conjures in the entire game. It does lots of really interesting stuff. Because remember, you can give it to your allies. So, like, there's an invulnerability skill. Remember, on our focus, we have obsidian flesh that makes us invulnerable. But you're going to see we get another one on the earth shield in a second. But you can give the earth shield to anyone. You could give that to a thief or a warrior or an engineer. We could make Bract invulnerable by giving him out Casey's earth shield, for example, and that's just so fun to me. But yeah, okay, so looks like this force field's blocking. I love this building, by the way. There's so much detail. This force field's blocking a lot of the stuff off. If we try and go upstairs, you'll see that there's another force field, and the game doesn't really make it easy to jump over, but we can at least go downstairs. And on the top right, you see it does say search the basement for Maeva. So what is going on? I thought we were just going to meet someone who... Oh dear. Hello? Maeva's projection.
I regretfully inform you that our defenses have escalated. Dimensional stasis fields initiated, and secondary golemic enforcers are now active. Please remain quiescent during complete eradication and enjoy the soothing music.
Combat protocols active. Restricted weaponry unlocked. Prepare for death. Have a nice die.
So listen in the background, there's actually this lovely, like, Cornicus Manor, like, sweet manor music going on. They're actually playing it as we get killed. It's so funny. So, yeah, let's fight some more PM 632Zs. So the skill 2 is Stone Sheath. We block the next attack that comes at us. And when we successfully block, we ripple bleeds and things out around us, which is kind of nice. The skill 3 is a Magnetic Surge. We surge towards our opponent, we daze them, we start reflecting projectiles on ourselves. This had an update, by the way. Anyone watching this series who hasn't played Guild Wars 2 for ages, this had like an overhaul a bit back. Oh my god, there's even more golems. Oh my god! Listen, I really want to commit to the permadeath thing. You're not going to kill me freaking in the... If I die outside of a dungeon, that is just going to be the way... I think I would have to honor that, because that is just so bad. Here, let me throw these the water trident down and heal myself back up. This is so annoying, these cooldowns. Listen, I'm going to cut, guys. Alright, here we go. Cool. Skill 4. We hold up.
Armored up.
We it's called Magnetic Shield. We pull all of our foes to us with a magnetic force, gaining protection, and then we also... gain a bit of barrier. So barrier is a mechanic we can talk about later, but basically gives us extra health over our regular health. And then finally here, it's better when I show you the skills out of combat, I do know that. And then we have Fortify. We use magnetism to envelop ourselves in a shield, becoming invulnerable. Look at that. And so as long as we hold this here, This is a bit like when Tyrix uses his shield 5, but while Tyrix is just blocking and some stuff can bypass that, Casey is completely invulnerable. So it's really, really, really strong. Oh my god, there's another freaking golem. How many golems are they? The game suddenly got quite a bit harder here, and that's kind of cool because they make the game a bit harder right at the same moment that the plot starts really amping up and getting juicy. Okay, so what is going on here? Well, Siren wants to talk to us, but if we actually notice, yes, all the golems have activated, but we can't do anything. So here's Maeva. This is the real Maeva. She's stuck in some kind of like magical stasis. And you'll notice she actually has an effect on her called Time Warp, which runs out in 52 minutes. I guess maybe we could try to wait that out. I don't actually know what would happen at that point. But she's stuck in Time Warp here. The idea is she's frozen in time. And she's frozen in time doing battle with this thing, which is also frozen in time with her, stuck in this Time Warp. And really, all that's left are just projections of her, holograms, and defenses. So, it looks like some horrible creature found her, right as she had some important information about the fight. Siren, what's going on? She says, Maeva does research on dimensional and stasis bioscience. I remember Gix going on and on about it. And on, and on. Anything that might help us in this situation, Magister? She invented a device, something called a dimensional anchor. It stabilizes dimensional rifts. Okay, well then that means there's got to be one around here somewhere. So, that's our option now. We're going to have to locate a dimensional anchor. And Siren just repeats her dialogue. So, now that we've done that, if we actually go back upstairs, you'll see that the portal, the barricade that was mysteriously in the way before.
Combat protocols active. Weaponry unlocked. Weaponry prepare for death. Have a nice time.
Oh my god. Yeah, is now gone. So we can go up, but that of course means more enemies. Oh my god, I'm pretty trash with the Earth Shield, I must admit, guys. I mean, Earth Shield's a very defensive weapon, so you kill super slowly with it. Maybe we should just go back to the Lightning Hammer and proc ourselves some more fresh air. Knock some guys away. God, we take so much damage. It's actually really, really, really scary. These guys hurt so bad. The thing is, there's some dangerous turrets that Maeva's got set up that we're going to have to fight against in a second. I don't want to use our elite just yet. I want to use that in, like, the final boss of this instance. So we'll have to see how we can handle that. Pull away from the PMZ. Move back. Lightning Hammer again. Can I pick it up? I can. Good. We could have kept the Flame Axe on us as well. That's him down. Knock him away. There we go. Keep him away again. Siren's actually helping us reasonably well here as well. So here he's doing a barrage of attacks at us, but we can reflect them back at him, and he can kill himself.
That was interesting.
Whew, interesting. Siren, these are not easy fights. Let's go to our next conjure here. Okay, and that's the Ice Bow. Huzzah. So, I'll just summon this straight away. We cast it on the floor. Ice Bow buffs our condition duration on our heal power, but it's a very aggressive weapon. So we get an auto attack, which is Water Arrow. This heals people when it lands, but doesn't really do much damage. There's the Frost Volley. We rapidly fire, making people vulnerable each time we hit them. There's the Frost Fan, which shoots out a beautiful fan of stuff. Always makes me think of a very particular League of Legends character there. There's the Ice Storm, which was extremely overpowered for many years and people use constantly. And then finally, Ice Block, which encases our target in a block of solid ice. I'll show you what that looks like. Ah, it just despawned again. That's the thing with the conjures. You don't get them forever. So I'll show you that in a minute. Let's take out this Sentient Alarm. It's a living spark of energy that is actually physically aggressing us. Good, down he goes. Move away from that turret there, just slowly backpedaling. Come on, what? How is he still hitting us? These are the really dangerous turrets I was talking about. Maybe we might be able to cast Dragon's Tooth from underneath. Yeah, we can. I'll tell you what else we could probably do. We could probably cast the Ice Storm from underneath as well and hit above. Yeah, look at how good that is. So we're actually doing damage to it even though it can't hit us. That's so cool. I doubt that the Ice Block will work on a structure either, so we may have to stay back. The other thing we could do is maybe put on a staff. Here, I'll use my invulnerability and move up. And my reflects while we're at it. Oh god, I'm going to have to actually activate the signet. Here, I'll cast Swirling Winds, which will get rid of the projectiles as well. So this is safety for a while. Get the Dragon's Tooth down again. Let's use our summon as well. If we move the summon up, the summon can probably take some damage for us. Yeah, nice. It is. Exactly. That's exactly what I want to see. And he can evade as well. Good job, Mini Fire Elemental. You're doing good. Always, whenever you have allies in Guild Wars 2, It makes the game so easy. So easy. That's why, like, Ranger is such a fun class. That's why, like, Necromancer is such an easy class as well. Because you can summon, like, hordes of minions. Doesn't that sound fun, right? So, another Swirling Winds. My god, we're suddenly really hurt. I think it's because I haven't upgraded my gear as well.
Getting hotter.
Between this chapter and the last. Come on. Woo! Just about took it out. Good. Control panel. The circuit supplies power to the field. We can enter the code and disable the field. So what code is this? Did the game tell us what code this is? I don't know when we got this, but fine, we have one. Maybe Siren helps us out. That disables that. She still says the same stuff as before. And you'll notice we're actually above where we started the instance now. That's the Kabaya statue over there. That's LA over there and the old bars. Oh god, okay, 2 more enemies. These are bats, and there's a turret as well. We don't want to fight that all at once. So, I'm going to get the ice bow out, and I'll show you ice block, okay? Deep freeze. So, what's going to happen is they're going to round the corner. Oh, they're not going to round the corner. I'll just cast it here. And when the deep freeze hits a golem, look, it freezes him in place, and he can't move for ages. It is one of the single heaviest stuns in the entire game. We're going to hide around here as well.
I call upon the storm.
Get the thunderclaps. Don't forget, Lightning Hammer's really good because it spams blinds. Good. Spoiled for choice for items on the floor here. Let's summon an air Ellie this time, not a fire one. Let's summon an air one. Have him move up. The air one's actually probably the best single target damage, if I remember rightly. It attacks most rapidly. Or at least for the elite glyph, that's true. I'm not sure about the lesser ones. Okay, we'll keep reflecting. Yeah, this turret's going down a little bit quicker here. Swirling Winds. And finally, next to this turret, right at the back of the mansion here, right up on the roof, we see the Dimensional Anchor. And it turns out to be a gun, so check this thing out. Pretty badass. The game's a little bit weird here because the skill 1 is called Disrupt. It says discharge to stun and weaken golems. But the way that this is structured is you never fight any you fight golems to get to the gun. You can't, like, bum rush the gun. Or maybe you can? I don't know. Oh, no, here's one golem we can fight with it. So we can use the skill 1. And it does tons of damage. But your opportunity to use this and perma-stun the golems is, like, super low. So I don't know. Maybe the devs had a different idea for... Oh, no, there's actually another one here as well. For what this instance was actually going to be. But usually you kill all of these on your first route through. The skill 2 is also really interesting as well. This is the Dimensional Anchor itself. A pulse to stabilize dimensions and magic, which is cool. So we're going to use that on Maeva down there to bring her back. But if you look at the icon for it, it's actually an energy potion. Now, I already talked about this, but when the game was being developed, energy potion and mana was a mechanic. And that was actually what the default energy potion icon was for the game. Now, the only way you can find it is here in this instance. I'm going to try and ignore those golems and not aggro them, because I don't think we have to. Look at the pile of them down here now, my god. Half holographic, half real. And here we go. So here's Maeva. We come over, we use the energy potion / the Dimensional Anchor, and...
Congratulations. You have successfully initiated the Dimensional Anchor. If correctly installed, the Dimensional Anchor will stabilize dimensional phenomena. However, as a side effect, the anchor may cause migraines, disintegration, and/or violent arcane overload. We invite you to relax while the dimensional interface is restored.
So, there you go. You get tons of dialogue. This is the boss fight without even touching the boss. We have seen Siren and the golems, who are all on our side now, have done amazing damage. This is another one of those AFK bosses, but I do want to show you the tornado. Boom, we can turn her into a roaring tornado, fill the room up. So there's 3 modes for the tornado: a lightning mode, a dust mode, or a rock hurling mode. There's a charge move, there's a big overcharge move, and you just get to destroy people and do massive CC.
Salutations. I see you're from the Priory. Thanks for the help. I'm glad I didn't have to wait for the defenses to deactivate.
And how long would that have taken exactly?
Oh, 3,500 years, give or take a decade. At that point, I would have emerged from stasis, confident that the radiation was gone. What's this? Aha! The creature that invaded my house was some kind of Orion scout. I told Gix that my equations predicted an assault on Lion's Arch. This intrusion implies we've reached time critical for that attack.
If that's true, then the whole city's in danger. Maeva, go to the Priory. Show Gix your research. My friend and I will head for Claw Island immediately. We have to warn the Lion Guard.
What's on Claw Island?
The Claw Island fortress stands in the harbor of Lion's Arch. It's the last defense against invasion from the sea. If Zaitan's going to attack the city, its minions will have to fight their way past the fort.
Ah, so there it is. We actually already know about Claw Island because we spoke to that NPC, but it would have been possible for players not to do that, so Casey asks, just in case. Maeva joins the story. We will be seeing her a little bit later as she heads off to the Durmand Priory for now. We don't actually get to speak to her. Here's Siren. We don't get to speak to her either. But yeah, so it turns out that there has been a pretty deadly... I mean, I know the boss fight was pretty easy. We kind of wrecked it with the tornado and other stuff. But there is an Orion scout, and that does not spell good news. If Zaitan, the Elder Dragon of Death, for some reason is looking at Lion's Arch, we've got to warn the people who are most trained to defend a Lion's Arch, and those would be the guys at Claw Island. So there's a very famous instance, really cool part of the story, and for one big reason. Now, Claw Island is a big area of the world. If you look here, you see this level 60 map here. And the only time you ever get to visit this is during story. Okay, so this is our first opportunity to visit Claw Island. And we actually have to cross the bay now. I guess we can swim across the bay. What's the harm in that, right? In New LA, we can swim across. Actually, I'll swim in the bay. I haven't shown you guys this. But this is original. This is Guild Wars 1 Lion's Arch that got flooded with Zaitan. So Zaitan rose, flooded original Lion's Arch, so they rebuilt out here, and then another destruction happened a little bit later. But this is original LA. This is literally like, if you watch my Guild Wars 1 series, I was stood here talking to an NPC buying skills, and like getting a quest chain to do with, called the Villainry of Gaurath, from a guy that was standing like here. Now there's a secret doorway, by the way, in here. There's actually a secret room leading to some sneak NPCs and things over there, which we can't go to just yet because there's too much in this goddamn game to show off. But yeah, this is original LA. But yeah, so this is one of our first of very, very rare opportunities to actually go to Claw Island. I'm holding out hope that now that guild halls are a big system in Guild Wars 2, one day we'll be able to make Claw Island a guild hall of ours, but it's so far not been anything the devs have ever properly talked about. So let's surface here, because we've swam a little bit off of course. You'll see an airship up there as well. That airship is actually to do with the most recent expansion, so you can look but not touch for a while. We won't be able to touch that. But instead we're going to come over to this boat here, because this will actually get us to Claw Island itself. We just need to find a way to get up off of the dock here. With all these cannons pointed out. And yeah, if you check it out, all this water floods into Lion's Arch proper, but it all comes through this little gap here, overlooked by the lighthouse and Claw Island out there. So, would we like to continue our story? Does anyone say anything interesting? Here's another plaque for Kabaya Mariner, by the way. This commemorates the loss of the Lion's Arch fleet in 1256 AE, when saboteurs set the ships afire during the Great Crichton Blockade. Kabaya Mariner defeated the saboteurs upon this stretch of beach. This, of course, being depicted in one of the novels. And, yeah, so let's go on through the Battle of Claw Island. So... yeah, I bet you thought that the video would be ending about now, didn't you? No, we're going right the way through, guys, and it's gonna be brilliant. So we take the boat to Claw Island. Now, I know it feels like we only just got into the Durmand Priory gear, but screw it. I want to change it up. Check it out. This is the Arcanist's outfit. Once again, this is the second outfit I've shown off. It's a bit like the town clothes one I did before, but this is a proper full-fledged outfit that the devs released. Not necessarily related to the Durmand Priory, but that thing I showed you at the Priory at the start of this video, you know, that mannequin, I think it basically is this. It looks a lot to me like a great cast armor. I really enjoy this. And come on, it's Arcanist, and we're in Ellie. So now that we're level 60 and we're ready to do these bigger, scarier story arcs, in fact, I like to think we've been here in the hold as we sail across the seas. Now that we're level 60, we've got the harder stuff. I figured we'd pick up another line. So we still don't have 3 specializations, but I've turned off air and swapped on arcane just to show you it all off. Now, the idea of arcane is it's all about the act of attuning. So swapping from fire to air to earth and so on. I'll race through these. So for example, we now get might whenever we switch attunements. We gain other boons when we switch attunements. So when we swap to water, we get regen. When we swap to earth, we get protection. When we swap to fire, we get even more might. We can swap attunements even quicker, and our boon duration is longer. So that's like the idea of arcane. It's really fun. And then the 3 major traits I've picked are these. We heal whenever we swap attunements, and if we take full damage, we have elemental explosions. We can revive people faster. We give elemental auras to people when we revive them. And one of our staff skills is cooler. I'm back on staff, as you can see here. And lastly, the Grand Master is called Evasive Arcana. Cast a skill whenever you dodge based on your attunement. So yeah, whenever I dodge now in combat, we'll get even more effect. So yeah, different kind of elementalist. I put on some arcane skills as well, you guys have seen. Keeping the tornado. Want to show this off, change it up now that we're level 60.
The creature we found hadn't been in Lion's Arch long. We may still have time. We have to find the Watch Commander and convince him to ready the defenses.
Oh, okay, Siren. Sorry, I almost missed what she said there. It's very easy to miss dialogue in this instance, so we're going to be going quite slowly and carefully, making sure we get it all. What was I saying? Yeah, the staff as well. This is an icy staff, a corrupted staff, which I thought we'd take as a memento of the fact we were just helping out the Quaggan, right? But yeah, so welcome to Claw Island, guys. On this kind of scary, tingly day. We've been building this up quite a bit. Siren is already marveling at it. Once again, she's ahead of us. Freaking, she runs ahead. She gets us in trouble and gets us in danger. When will she learn to just chill out and stop being so excited by everything? Stop getting people hurt. So she says here, it's even bigger than I'd been told. So many soldiers, so much defiance. How can it possibly fall? Well, that scout we saw does mean the dragon's sending a massive attack. We should hurry, we say. Yeah, okay, so we found the horrible undead creature. We just got to warn these guys, and then we'll get in, we'll get out on this special place.
I smell something odd. Do you smell it?
Smell? No. But the back of my neck keeps itching for some reason.
I don't like this. Something's definitely wrong.
Ooh, so these guys don't have very good vibes. We don't actually get to be able to press F and speak with them. Same with any of the people over there. The captain of the ship that took us in and whatnot. Same ship we were standing on in Lion's Arch. They won't tell us anything. Now, if we go up there, we continue the story, but I do have a bit of an Easter egg to show you, something most people don't know about, because, again, Claw Island is not a place we really visit very much on the story. If I press, in the game, sorry, if I press M, you'll see we're at Claw Island now, and everything has automatically unlocked. So there are points of interest here, like you were doing map exploration, but the thing is, the story won't necessarily take you to all of them, so the devs just give it to you instantly. So there's 2 side islands. One's called the Western Pyramid, one's called the Eastern Pyramid. But then there's also this POI out here called the Moor and Pride, and that's what I want to show you. It's a little Easter egg. So we were just looking at some plaques of Kabaya Mariner. One nearby, look at that boat all the way out there. One nearby was talking about this point of interest. If you've read the novel Sea of Sorrows, you will know a little bit about this. But if you swim way out, look at how beautiful it is in the waters around Claw Island. All this coral everywhere. If you swim out, you can see over here at the POI, Sneaky Moor and Pride, this is actually 2 ruined ships, an undead ship and another ship. One of the ships was once upon a time captained by Kabaya Mariner. And again, I won't go into a full dissection and discussion of one of the novels, but most people don't realize that there are these sunken ships out here in reference to that novel that you can only find by swimming out into these like no man's land areas here at Claw Island. So you got this Orient stuff here, and then you got this other ship down here. Really, really amazing. What's particularly fascinating about that, though, is when Guild Wars 2 came out, the novel Sea of Sorrows wasn't out yet. So the Moor and Pride existed as a POI, but no one fully knew what it was referencing, which I find really kind of cool. Unless maybe the Kabaya Mariner plaques didn't exist until that time, but I think they didn't because they were added when the book was released. Anyway, I sidetracked myself. Right, back to the main place. Let's travel on up. More Lion Guards. How you guys doing? These are like the most elite of the Lion Guard.
Is that Traherne up there talking to Commander Talon? What do you think he wants?
Traherne, the necromancer? Comes through here every few months on his way to Ur. That guy creeps me out.
Wow, so there's some creepy necromancer that goes to Ur? Hang on, let's read this. Somebody who goes to Ur, the dead, infested Elder Dragon land. Wow. Yeah, it's no wonder that a necro like that goes out there would be creepy. Huh, so he's talking to Commander Talon? Well, we want to talk to Commander Talon as well. What do we got going on here? Oh, and here they are, right at the gates. So, we've got Watch Commander Talon and Traherne.
I've researched the situation extensively. The Orions will strike here on Claw Island.
Oh, so he's actually saying basically the same thing as that. He seems to have come to the same conclusion. Obviously have no idea who this person is whatsoever. So he's also a Sylvari, just like Siren here. But he seems pretty much on the money for now. Watch Commander Talon. Hey, dude, how's it going? So he's currently determined, so we know he's a big boss, all right? Champion level dudes. He's in charge of things here out at Claw Island.
Thank you for meeting with us, Watch Commander Talon. We have grave news. One of Zaitan's minions breached the city. We destroyed it, but the creature was likely scouting for a much bigger force. An attack is imminent.
A what? That's extremely unlikely. We've seen no sign of an impending attack. If there was to be one, we'd know of it.
By the bow, Siren? May the tree watch over you, young one. How's the Priory treating you?
Firstborn, it is an honor to see you again. I'm so glad you're here. Something terrible is about to happen. Traherne, this is my dear friend. One of the kindest and most dedicated magisters in the Priory. Magister, this is Traherne, Tyria's foremost scholar on Zaitan and Ore.
Wow. What?
Commander Talon, I can confirm their information. Zaitan's servants are indeed approaching. A fleet of dead ships has launched from the Straits of Devastation. The risen sail beneath a cloak of stealth.
Whatever you've seen, it can't be a real threat. Claw Island can withstand any assault. Speak with my commanders, Brack and Mira. Once you review our defenses, you'll realize there's nothing to fear.
Dear Traherne, I haven't seen you since you helped the Order with that undead gorilla.
The drowned Orion one you let out of its cage. Yes, that was a menace. Did everything end up well?
I misread the sign language. It was saying kill, and I thought it was saying I feel better. It's wonderful to see you again.
If you don't mind, I'll accompany you on your rounds. It's been a while since I've toured the fortress.
Wow, so much to take in here. Siren clearly has always been one of these ridiculous people getting people into danger. She released an Orion gorilla? That's insane. Okay, and I love how grim and, like, upset Traherne sounds with that. So, yeah, these two do know one another. There's a lot to talk about here, really. Siren referred to him as Firstborn. So, you guys don't know this yet, but the Firstborn, maybe I mentioned very briefly in one of these videos, the Firstborn are the very first Sylvari to ever have entered the world. So, they're a very new race. He's literally one of the first Sylvari to ever come out of the tree. And so is famous among the Sylvari. And so, yeah, Siren is well aware of Traherne here. What else did we hear? Traherne said that there was an army coming, which is what we suspected, from a place known as the Straits of Devastation. That's not just fluffy poetry, right? The Straits of Devastation is the actual name of an area in Ore. And there is a fleet of ships under a cloak of stealth. Talon, very arrogant, seems to think he's fine. So he says, inspect our defenses. Look at our munitions. I tell you, we're ready for anything. There is no need to worry. Okay, all right. Well, convince me. What's the history of this island, we ask? He says, it was in 1237, just after the city was rebuilt, that Commodore Kabaya Mariner and his first mate, Sycox, turned this island into a fortress. Why did they do that, we ask? And he says they saw what Orion invasions did to Port Noble and Port Stewart. Someone had to stand their ground. So, literally, this is all stuff that you can get so much more out of the books. You'll actually notice we're at a place called Fort Stewart at Claw Island right now, which could have been named after Port Stewart, which I think timeline-wise, this was built while Port Stewart was still up. Port Stewart was essentially a holiday destination that got destroyed by a sudden slam dunk attack from the undead. And so you can see what the devs are doing. They're like doing all this foreshadowing and being like, the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up. They should be. Someone had to stand their ground, he says. Okay, so what? Claw Island was built for that. Has it worked ever since, we say? And he says, absolutely. These defenses are virtually impenetrable. Nothing more than an undead shark or the occasional zombie gets past us. Wow, you seem very certain, Commander. I hope you're right. Siren's also very impressed. So it's kind of like what happens when an immovable object hits an unstoppable wall. Wait, the wrong way around. An unstoppable object hits an immovable wall, right? How many times has this fortress been attacked? Countless, he says. We've had 6 major attacks under my watch, and that's only in the last 4 years. Okay, so his confidence is not unfounded. The dude has defended this place. What kind of creatures are you trained to handle, we ask. He says anything risen. Anything from ore. Zombies, abominations, rotted flesh beasts. We even take on dead ships. Wow, so the whole gamut. We've never even seen a dead ship, but they're out there. But not dragons, right? We say you can't kill Zaitan himself if Zaitan comes. He says dragons? You mean like Zaitan? Or one of his champions? Because Zaitan's not the only dragon. There are other dragons in ore. Undead dragons, minions of Zaitan, his champions. You mean like Zaitan or one of his champions? No. No. They don't come to Lion's Arch. Let's hope it stays that way. Trohan, what's going on, man? This is an ill wind that comes from the south, he says. And I fear that it heralds the end of Lion's Arch. Wow, so he's the complete opposite. There must be some way to make Talon believe us. I guess, yeah, we're kind of on his side, because we've seen the scout, right? Talon's an excellent commander, but he's set in his ways. He doesn't want to think something might change. He'll come around. You guys have a certain perspective right now, but as this series and story continues, when you guys start seeing the visuals experience of these events, you might understand even deeper the significance behind seeing a scout like that in Lion's Arch. I have another question. How bad do you really think it is? He says extremely bad. My research implies there's a massive migration of Risen coming northward. They're sailing their dead ships on an unnatural wind. Oh, guys, I love the writing here. It's so, like, high fantasy and, oh, it's brilliant. What could that mean, we ask? He says, I don't know. The clouds above them are too dark and impenetrable to see the whole of the threat. We'll have to place our trust in our weapons. They, like, describe this so beautifully. I love the idea of these enchanted, horrible, toxic, nauseous, darkening clouds of stealth hiding an undead fleet. We'll do everything we can to protect Lion's Arch. We don't even know the threat is real right now, though. Siren as well.
Greetings.
She's still just marveling at Claw Island. So this is it, guys. It's a pretty awesome place. Wouldn't this be a great guild hall? Oh, it'd be so cool. You got the lions up there. We got multiple watchtowers. We'll see what their significance is soon enough. And if we just patrol for a bit, you'll see an awful lot of lion guards. They have trebs, so we can interact with these. And they have the same controls as many others. We can fire small shots and launch trebuchets way out into the oceans, as you can see there. And that was just a tiny bit of charge. We can shoot them even further. We have cannons that we can sit on. Oh, I guess we can't activate the cannons. They'll be manning the cannons. That's fine. But they can all be fired off. Yeah, it's kind of great here, actually. There is a lot of defenses. So the game specifically wants us to come up to this wall here where we have an Asura that's working here amongst the Lion Guard. Also, this is Deputy Brack. So, hey, dude. And Trohan's coming with us with Siren now.
I've heard the rumors. Undead coming in under stealth. Do you believe it?
Probably just another trickle of corpses. It happens.
No, I think this one will be worse. I just have a really bad feeling.
There's a chill in the air. It is beginning.
I really feel like the story of Core Guild Wars 2 starts with that line. There's a chill in the air, it's beginning. I just realized I kind of want to turn one of these arcane skills off and put lightning flash on, because what it means is we can blink up onto these walls from down below without having to go up the ramps, which is kind of nice at different moments. Not that anything's going to happen, guys. Not that anything's going to happen. So, Brax, what's going on, dude?
Be on alert. The Orions are planning a major attack against Claw Island.
Tell the Watch Commander Talon that the gunnery emplacements are ready. The fortress here on Claw Island houses more 24-pounders than a ship of the line. We'll be ready to fight the Orions. Don't doubt that. Check on Deputy Mira. She's in charge of the beach patrols.
The Lion Guard don't understand. This won't be a sortie. It'll be a massive...
All right, liven it up a little bit, Trohan. I love this dialogue, guys. Like, all the kind of nautical stuff where he's comparing a fort to a freaking load of cannons and armaments on a ship that will attack them from the sea. It's just so Pirates of the Caribbean and amazing, and I love it. Okay, so... Yes, I can see you guys have got an awful lot of firepower. An awful lot of firepower. Lion's Arch has funded you well. My God. So, yeah. Also, the name of that guy up there sounds very similar to Bract, doesn't he? No, he is of no relation. It's just a very popular, awesome Asuran name, okay? So, tons of Lion Guard patrols around. We got some ships out on those islands. We can actually swim over to those islands, by the way. There's no real reason to. But yeah, we got these beaches. They seem well patrolled. Quite a long area out of the island over there, but there are Lion Guard dotted around watching it. I'm sure perched up in those crow's nests and whatnot. Another lighthouse there, and here's Mira. Is everybody here? Do you guys want to get close? Where's Siren? Here's Traherne, but where's Siren? There she is. Hello. Okay, so Mira. This again, by the way, many of the characters you're meeting right now are going to be recurring a lot. So this is Mira. She's very pretty. As you can see, she's got nice freckles and nice clean-cut hair and whatnot. So, hello.
Welcome to Beach Patrol, the most dangerous duty on Claw Island.
Deputy, a massive attack is on its way from Ore. You must prepare your troops.
If we fall, our last order is to light those 3 signal towers. We have to warn Lion's Arch if the fortress is lost. In 100 years, they've never once been lit. We're very proud of that.
Deputy Mira, sound the alarm. There are undead on the beach.
If an invasion's really coming, we'll need everyone on the island to hold the line.
Alright, so they're down here. This is fine. So we can defend them. So yeah, I've got Staff. Staff is very good in AoE scenarios. So we're going to stand back and cast Meteor Showers and Lava Fonts and all kinds of crazy good with arcane damage in the back. And we're going to blow people up like a good Arcanist. Oh, this is the purest, best Elementalist gameplay you can have, guys.
That wasn't much of a fight. Traherne, I thought you said the attack would be significant.
It was a feint. They're testing your defenses. More will come. And soon.
Makes sense. Report to Watch Commander Talon and tell the men to be ready.
And look, they just came out of the waters there, just ambled out.
I have studied Orion creatures for 25 years, but I rarely engage in combat with them. Do you think the commander will listen to us now?
That line there about how he actually says, there is dialogue in the game. He says, it's terrifying. So basically, this guy isn't a commander or anything. He's just been researching the Risen. He does not even a fighter. He's just a bookworm. Great. Isn't that what he was described as earlier? Jesus. So, yeah, he's terrified of fighting these guys. They are a little bit scary as they come out. I mean, we absolutely massacred them there because Casey is a complete boss. He's a little bit glassy, maybe.
All my life, I have been drawn to Ore. My wild hunt is to heal the land.
Wild hunt? What's a wild hunt, guys? That's very curious. We don't exactly know what that is, but he's trying to heal Ore. Isn't Ore just like a land of death and corruption and hell and horrible? That sounds like a pretty dumb thing to be trying to do. So yeah, the signal towers, right? That's what Mira mentioned. There are 3 of them. One of them's out there. I'm sure the Lion Guard have gotten taken care of that, but there's another one over here and another one in the background over there. Anyway, look, we've been spending so long just casually wandering around trying to keep on top of everything everyone's saying. Freaking more undead could be coming very soon, so Mira's already ran way on ahead of us.
Even with all my research, we still know so little about defeating them.
Okay, so he's talking about the Elder Dragons there, or even with, not even just the dragons, actually. He's just talking about the Risen there. Traherne doesn't necessarily care, as far as we can see, about all of the dragons. It's about Zhaitan and corruption. In fact, not even necessarily the dragons. He cares about curing Ore. But in order to cure Ore, he kind of has to deal with what the Risen have done there. What does that even mean, though? Like, the people who lived on Ore before the Risen were there were humans, right? Humans being attacked by Char. So that's very exciting. What's his stake in that? So Talon, we've seen the defenses. There are Risen, but not many, so you might be right.
It barely ruffled our feathers. Is that all they brought?
There will be more, much more. Keep watching the sea.
You're a scholar, not a general, firstborn. Why should we trust you?
The fortress is under attack. Ready on the wall. Hostiles incoming.
Oh god. Oh god. That was Mira screaming that. She's up near the courtyard. She's looking out to the waters.
Still being over.
Uh-oh. So there are ships. So that, my friends, is a bone ship.
Catapulting abominations onto the western wall. Repel the invaders.
I remember this blowing my mind when this came out. So they are trebbing us, essentially, with giant fish and things. It's kind of nasty. And they've launched friggin' undead straight into the fort. So we got to get up there and we got to help defend abominations. So we've seen very few abominations so far in some of the bigger attacks back on Kryta. And if you look at these walls here, guys, They are encircling the forts. So extremely dangerous. Also, as they're shredding through the lion guards, they're gaining frenzy. So we're going to be careful, very careful. I got to say, though, I'm feeling pretty good being able to fight from the back line. It's not like we're worrying we have to go charging in on these guys. We can just stand back, knock them out from over here in relative safety. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm not feeling like there's really too much stress right now. If it's just the abominations. But you've noticed that the lighting has changed a little bit. It's a little bit grimmer now. They've clouded the skies. That lovely weather we were enjoying a second ago has now passed away. A little bit behind the scenes. I was going to record this with you guys, but it was night, and it was like, there's no way I'm going to play this at night time, because at night you can't really appreciate it when the skies cloud over and these ships appear. So check it out. Actually, it's just one ship, I think, that we've seen just come up and is starting to siege us down. You'll notice that the Lion Guard are being attacked out here on the fields now. They've all been engaged across multiple fronts. Moving on. It's just our job, and remember, at all times, you want to look... What your job in these giant battles is always cleared and written for you very clearly on the top right. So here, we just need to defend the wall. So that's another one, and a thrall there.
That was interesting.
Oh my god. Okay, so there you go. That's the abominations down. We could get on the Trebs now, but it's changed and said we need to find and revive Deputy Mirror. So there used to be a tiny line of dialogue where one of the Lion Guard here screamed, Mirror's been hurt on the beach or something, and you have to go to the beach. That dialogue doesn't play in Guild Wars 2 anymore. I don't know why, and I did try to mine it for you guys, but I just can't find it. So yeah, just let's pretend we heard one of them say, oh, Mirror's down on the beach. So we're going to go to the beach. Here we go, closer to the ship. Going to be very careful here because there's a huge packet of undead, and as we fight these ones, there will actually be rotting AoE fields. You see these big red circles that do a lot of damage to us. So we have to be very careful. Casey is genuinely really quite squishy, so I've got to be super cautious. Hiding back. Making sure we stay safe. The enemies here you go. So like that, we're going to have to dodge out of that. There, so as you saw as a dodge roll, whenever I dodge roll now, because we're an Arcanist, we get extra effects. So there I splash water around me. If we dodge in earth, we actually create a blast. So watch.
Running out of
there we blast and we healed ourselves. There's all kinds of fun stuff you can do as an Arcanist. I love it. So yeah, let's do this. Enemies are infinitely respawning now. So you don't get experience from them because they don't want you basically farming them. But they are all a serious threat. So it's our job to cut through infinitely respawning risen undeads to get to Mira's body, who is slightly round here on the left. So as an Arcane Elementalist as well, another thing we can do is cast our water fields, which now resurrect bodies from range, which is really nice. The other thing is we got Tornado. I didn't get to show you too much Tornado before. So let's charge through, critting them massively, throwing the Risen away, just trying to get them away from Mira's body as we revive her. And defend the beaches for as long as possible. So again, the first three skills are changing the type of tornado we are. An earth one, a dusty one, a lightning one. Oh my god, there's so many. Pulling away a little bit more. Mira's been revived a bit. By pressing F, I can drop another water field on her. And look at her health, just rocketing up. And we'll get her up. We will get her up. I want to show as well another elite. Now that we've shown off Tornado, I will show you guys the final Conjure elite. In fact, let's buy that now, shall we? Here, let's have a look here. As long as we stay away from the Risen. Oh, we don't have enough hero points for it. All right, never mind. We won't show off the Fiery Greatsword. We'll get to that later. Oh, my God. Is she up now? Mira, you up? Did I just see she's up? Yeah, I think Siren helped revive her. Siren, you're very low, sweetheart. Here you go. Let's heal you as well. We tried. Okay, so regroup with Commander Talon. Come on. Get up here, Mira. Yeah, she's following us. There you go. Whew. You all right? She looks okay. I think it's rapidly falling out of our control now, though, guys. Talon? Talon, what are we going to do here? Or are you happy because we defended the wall?
Mira, how stand the beaches?
Fallen, sir. And a lot of good soldiers with them. We have to light the watchtowers.
Let Lion Charge think we've lost? No, Mira. Not yet. Claw Islands withstood much worse. Get on a trebuchet. Dead ship in the harbor holds their reinforcements. Sink it!
Alright, I like it. That's fine. Yeah, let's keep fighting. That's not a problem at all to me.
Causing trouble.
So here he says, we've held out against worse than this. I defy the dragon to take our island. You hear me, Zaitan? Defy! You had to say that, didn't you? And you'll notice everyone's dialogue's actually updated. Traherne here says, so many. The wind has grown stronger. There's something in the clouds. We must persevere, we say. Siren's even updated as well. She says, there are too many. What do we do? How can we help? Keep fighting. Don't give up hope. And Mira probably doesn't have any dialogue. Yeah, Mira doesn't. But everyone else is updated. I kind of like Talon, though. Look, he's getting in their face like a true char. I like him. He's been attacked 6 times, all right? So what? Number 7. Lucky number 7, right, guys? It's not going to be a problem. Let's get on a Treb. Let's kill some Risen that are next to this Treb. And let's get in there. I'm sure we'll be perfectly A-okay. Actually, I'll tell you what, we can, using Tomes of Knowledge, get those hero points in the instance. Mind you, I've got 21 and we only needed 9. Maybe it was just because I was in combat. Here, look, we can buy the Fire Greatsword. I want to use it before the end of the instance here, guys. So, conjure, manifest a fiery greatsword to your hands and at the target location. When it lands, it damages and burns foes. So check this thing out. It is so cool, guys. What a freaking badass piece of kit. We can do crazy stuff. It's a lot like Warrior Greatsword stuff in a lot of ways. Oh my god. Except we just do major damage and we're all projectile heavy. So here, look, we can do crazy damage here. We can summon 2. 1 for ourselves, 1 for our enemy. Our allies for our enemy. And yeah, kind of just rip people to pieces. So there you go. That's the FGS. Hopefully we'll rip some Risen apart with that. For now though, let's get on the Treb. There's the ship. We get the Trebuchet Controls. I think this is the first time we've ever needed these as well. So we can Treb people that are actually down on the ground here, like so. We can just tap the button. Oh, I can't fire the weapon in that direction, actually, apparently. Wow, really? All right, fine. Maybe they I don't quite have that angle. Can we maybe hit these ones down here on the beach? Where Mira was? Can we give them Treb assist? Yeah, we should be able to just, for a second, release. We can launch the Treb down there. Oh, I think we overshot it there a bit, but you can assist people. But our target is all the way out there at that ship, long past the sunken ships I talked about right at the start. So we're gonna aim over there and go almost max. And look at it up there in the sky. I freaking love long distance Trebs. And we'll watch it rocket all the way through the sky. You do actually probably have to aim this. I could miss this, but hopefully we one-shot it. Oh no, we missed it. Damn it. Okay, all right. So maybe I was slightly too much on the right. Let's go from there, maybe. We'll fire another. And you don't have to watch the old one. You can just keep testing and firing. So we'll just keep launching Trebs. There's also a chance we're doing damage to its health bar, but we can't see the health bar update because the ship's so far away. There it is. Awesome.
We did it. It's sinking. A small victory. By the gods, there's so many.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? You can't even count that many ships. And the Treb just got counter-trebbed and destroyed. Talon. Alright, I'm now starting to lose hope in this. There are undead everywhere. The Lion Guard is starting to get picked off. Oh, dearie me. I mean, we have the Fiery Greatsword, sure. Let's just roll past this guy. Siren, come keep up. Traherne. You're not much of a fighter. Because Traherne's not much of a fighter, it's literally just us and Siren that are doing this. Oh my god, the Risen really hurt. We need to blink away there. Oh yeah, the Treb moment, by the way, is what I wanted to blink up to the Treb. I guess we didn't have to. Talon, are you gonna fight? Oh my god, there's a lot of Risen around here. Okay, I'm gonna drop the wall. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna drop the chill field. I'm gonna drop a water field on myself. I'm gonna dodge to give myself a thing, and I'm gonna blast to heal ourselves up as much as possible. Oh my god. Okay. Freaking, what level? Ow, my god, he knocked us down. We should be alright. Oh.
Eat my dust.
Freaking hell, man. Our gear isn't too under-leveled. It's level 47 stuff. I suppose we are level 60 now. Alright, okay, good. Talon.
Talon, this is no normal attack. The Lion Guard cannot hold. We're overwhelmed.
Claw Island has stood for nearly 100 years. It cannot fall.
Dude, you nutter!
We'll fight them to the last soldier. To the last sword. We'll never serve.
Medic! We need a medic over here. Commander Talon, hold on. You'll be all right.
Quiet, Mira. Soldiers don't need lies. Retreat to the city. Tell the Commodore. We did all we could.
By your will, Commander. I swear to you, this isn't over.
Mira, the island is overwhelmed. We have to evacuate the Lion Guard and ignite the watchtowers to warn the city.
No. You'll never make it to the beacon with these Risen monstrosities chasing you. We'll have to fight our way back. The Lion Guard will make a stand in the courtyard while you go for the tower. God's willing, the Risen will be too busy fighting us to stop you.
Your bravery is commendable, Deputy Mirror, but your soldiers cannot survive a protracted battle against this many undead.
It's the duty of every Lion Guard to lay down our lives to protect our city. If that's what it takes, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll rally in the courtyard. You light the warning beacons. Now go!
Jesus, Mira will give her life to defend LA. Ow!
Back to the courtyard. Rally to me.
Oh my god. Wow, that's a lot of Risen that were right there. Okay, so yeah, if you were wondering what it was that hit Talon, maybe that huge pack of mobs there that can build up during that cutscene. Let's get the Fire Greatsword out. We're genuinely going to need this. So we can well through there, force them to go through the Firestorm. We don't have air available anymore. Oh my god, these knock sounds are really, really, really scary. Okay, back out of him there. Okay, good. So, it's now pretty goddamn dire. I'm glad that they finally listened. And I think that's the end of Talon, by the way, there. I think he's dead, so we're going to have to bail away from Mira here. Mira, again, at this point in the instance, would have a little bit of extra dialogue. We can hide with our Lion Guard friends here for a bit of safety. Mira would have a little bit of extra dialogue where she commands the others to charge onwards or whatever. But again, that also just sort of doesn't appear in the game at the moment, so I'm not sure why. Oh my god, this is a lot of Risen. Siren, I need your help. So there's a thrall here. That's the watchtower we're going for. The Lion Guard can handle the other ones, but this is the main one we need to go for. So I'm going to blink over here, and I'm going to hide up by this to keep away from Zaitan's undead. Now, many of them will come with us, but we can get Siren and Traherne up, like so, and force them into choke points, which will make this whole affair a whole bit easier. Oh my god, they're YOLOing off. They're leaving me alone. Oh no, it's only Siren that's running off. Siren, come back! For God's sake. Okay. Magister! I mean, we're really not well equipped. We're the Priory with a scholar here, trying to defend Claw Island. Okay, so by dealing with them, we can now come a little bit higher up. There are going to be a ton of mobs nearby. So we have to just slowly deal with these. Kiting backwards and forwards through our rock walls with our staff, keeping them moving slow, forcing them down the stairs, then blinking back up the stairs, just to keep throwing haze on them for as long as possible. Okay, good. That's another packet dead. Oh my god. Okay. Now there's this undead guy. And look, they're all basically Lion Guard that are attacking us here, right? Like, you can see that that's essentially a Norn. You wouldn't find many Norn for Zaitan to turn into dead bodies reawakened in ore. They will have come and been killed recently. So Siren and Traherne are stuck in a fight here. Still with that. Good. Yeah, thanks very much. You guys coming up? Alright, and two more. Got a brute there. Let's just stun him. Hide in as many stuns as possible and then lay down the pain. Oh, look. See, when they hit us with those knockdowns, they're really, really gnarly. Okay, good. Whew. And we get the Asuran Glyph. God, the Asura have been so instrumental in Lion's Arch and these defenses. You can see their tech everywhere. All right, let's light the beacon. Lion's Arch. Claw Island is falling. There are friggin' ships. And wait, what did Traherne say about the skies? Just the poison clouds, right? Right? Okay, so let's get going. Back down the stairs. Luckily, we've killed a lot of the guys that were here before. There's a few that have reappeared. How are the Lion Guard doing in the courtyards? Oh, they're good. Look, they're actually defending us. Well done, guys. So, at this point in the instance, what our job to do is, again, if you can look on the top right, it says just help the Lion Guard hold out against the Risen. This section can actually take a while, so it's a perfect opportunity to get our Fire Greatsword back. It's essentially like a boss defense mechanic moment, but you never really know exactly how long you have to hold out. I think it's essentially there's a selection of the undead in this courtyards you have to kill, but you never know which ones they are, maybe. But you could spend genuinely like half an hour here if you were killing slowly enough or being too scared about things. So you actually do have to fight. Or, you know, heal up your Lion Guard allies, make sure that they can do the fighting for you. And they're not too bad. I mean, if you were playing a build that could bump loads of might onto them, that would be good. Alright, there you go. That's a full Fire Greatsword. That's not too bad. This is where, luckily, Casey on a staff is in his element. Playing a staff is kind of the opposite to Fresh Air. Fresh Air is very good single target damage on a scepter, but playing these big staff builds, you get so much just meaty AoE. This is like mage gameplay, guys, right? This is what I think most people imagine that they're looking for when they very first pick an elementalist at character creation. You know, you want to be like a badass kind of wizard, spellcasting wizard. Necromancers get kind of a bit of similar gameplay like that as well, I think. But I'm happy we didn't choose that. So, that's what was in the sky.
Everyone, get to cover. It breathes corruption.
My eyes! My
Strong.
eyes! I can't see. My Cormier, it burns.
Introducing you guys to Blightghast the Plague Bringer. A freaking Orion dragon. Yeah, I mean, they hinted at it enough. Breathes its corruption everywhere, as you just heard Siren cry out to keep away from it. And poor Mira here at the gate has been hit. And she's just cried to Cormier, a god who was blind, for what it's worth, about her eyes, and she's on the ground now. Mira, but you look so pretty. Siren, there are too many. We need to regroup beyond the courtyard. This is actually really desperately bad now. Talon's dead. Mira's down. Siren, there's not many of us left. This is not anything like just messing around in the Shiver Peaks. This is serious.
The dragon's servants will never let our ships sail. If they surround the docks, they'll slaughter us, and Zaitan's forces will grow.
Our soldiers are too injured to fight. They can barely walk. We can't form a defense and still get them all aboard.
Someone needs to hold them off and give everyone else time to escape. No, not someone. Me.
Look at her face.
Can't win against those monsters, Siren. There are too many of them.
If I can keep them busy, it's enough of a win for me. Gix always said I was an exceptional troublemaker. When you and I met, I didn't think about anything but myself. I wanted fun, excitement, risks. I didn't really care about others. In my short life, you've taught me the most important lesson. Friends will go through anything for each other. That's why I have to do this. I've always wondered what it would be like to go to the Mists.
Oh, God.
It'll be a new adventure.
So much left I wanted to see.
You, Sylvari! You don't know what... Oh, my God, look at how many there are, Siren!
I can't let you hurt them. I won't.
Mira is in bad shape. You'll have to cut a path for us. Lion Guard, follow me.
Bringing the pain.
Hurry, to the ships. This sacrifice shall not be in vain.
So, yeah, there you have it. Siren does kill her. And I mean, it's so sad. They really lay it on. There's so much more she wanted to learn. Oh, another one bites the dust. But she was so cool. We were just getting to know her. We just met her with equal ranks. So, really interesting bit of trivia here. Traherne is actually holding in his hands like a wrapping. In fact, where is Traherne? Are you going to come, Traherne? He's supposed to be helping us with Mira. Traherne is actually holding a wrapping of Deputy Mira in his hands. It's a lot like in Guild Wars 1. Come on, Traherne. Oh my God, my health is so low. Oh no! It's okay, because we got the fire field, guys. We got the fire field. It's fine. Come on, we should rally on someone. Come on, we should rally. Oh my God, there's so much. Oh my God. Did I just die for some Traherne trivia? Did I just... He's holding... Look, I just wanted to tell you that he was holding this... Talon dead. Mira injured. Siren dead. Traherne and... What, Traherne escaping. Get to the boat, Traherne. And Casey? Dead?
I am one of the Sylvari firstborn. Call me Kaith. In the Grove, we hear the land calling out for champions. We answer. Evil threatens Tyria, but our dream will guide us through darkness to dawn.
So Guild Wars 2 is a game with many races. There are the humans, the standard that you could go for. There's kind of the unique Char race, which we saw in the original game where antagonists are actually playable now. They kind of went with some regular MMO tropes. You've got kind of your diminutive inventor race like gnomes, the Asura, that would be this franchise's version of those. And you might wonder as well what other kind of traditional fantasy races you might find. Well, they're not quite elves, but near enough to elves, filling that slot. We do also have the Sylvari, and I gotta say, these guys are really unique. Maybe not as unique as the Char, maybe not, I don't have as much favoritism for them as I do to the Char, but genuinely one of the coolest things that was added to the game, to the franchise with the start of Guild Wars 2, that is the Sylvari, who, while at first look might seem like they're just a fill-in for the traditional fantasy elven race, are actually very different, really nuanced, and extremely cool. The Sylvari are not born. They awaken beneath the pale tree with knowledge gleaned in their pre-life dream. These noble beings travel, seeking adventure and pursuing quests. They struggle to balance curiosity with duty, eagerness with chivalry, and warfare with honor. Magic and mystery entwined to shape the future of this race that has so recently appeared. So like the Elder Dragons, the main antagonists of Guild Wars 2, the Sylvari have only recently appeared also. And most interestingly, if you play a Sylvari, you kind of get one of the most coherent, badass versions of the plot in a single run, because it's as the Sylvari you most get to meet and interact with, who is arguably the main character of Guild Wars 2, and that's a Sylvari named Trahan. So let's jump in.